Hallo Miners, and welcome back. I am still making my way through all the new Eldrazi that were released with Modern Horizons 3. I gotta say, ever since I got to play Glaring Fleshraker and that Mystic Forge deck, I've been bitten by the Eldrazi bug. I am absolutely in love with this card. So we've gone the combo route, we've gone the tempo route. Now we are going to the full-on aggro route here with this sweet mono colorless Eldrazi aggro deck. I say that because, as you can see, there are some red pips in our mana cost. However, the Eldrazi cards themselves are technically colorless because of Devoid, which honestly is a mechanic that very, very rarely ever pops up as being relevant. It's more of a flavor text mechanic than anything. But you do have actual colored mana in this deck. I also call it mono colorless because one thing with all of these new Eldrazi is they need actual true colorless mana. So even though you would think a normal colorless deck really doesn't care about Blood Moon style effects or non-basic land hate stuff, because of the fact that you need true colorless mana and not just generic mana, and the fact that stuff like Lotus Petal and Cavern of Souls produce actual colors of mana, it actually means that these decks, are much, much weaker to the Blood Moon style effects, such as Blood Moon itself, Harbinger of the Flood Moon, as I call it, Harbinger of the Tides from Modern Horizons 3, which is the blue Magus Moon merfolk creature. But yeah, basically what this deck is trying to do is power out the low to the ground Eldrazi that have great effects on them as quickly as possible and just out aggro your opponent. Like, it's huge that Eldrazi has a 2-mana Lord that also allows your bigger Eldrazi to be cheaper. And then the addition of Devourer of Destiny being able to set up your first draw for the game is also huge because it makes it so that if you have it in your hand, you already know what your next card is going to be. If you're on the draw, then it even lets you figure out what your first draw for the game is going to be so that you can get the fast mana you need to accelerate out some of the other stuff. Or you can find the Eldrazi that you need. The deck is super low to the ground. Most people think of Eldrazi as these big-ass game-ending spaghetti monsters that are like 9, 10 mana and end the game on the spot. This is going to be more of a, I'm going to beat you down with undercosted aggressive creatures that have some sort of upside. The addition of Eldrazi Linebreaker, being able to give other Eldrazi haste, or even give itself haste if it needs to, means you can power out a shitload of creatures super fast and just start attacking with them right away. And the buff also works really, really well with stuff like Kozilek's Command and Glaring Fleshraker, which are going to just be shitting Scion tokens onto the battlefield, which are going to count as Eldrazi for Eldrazi Linebreaker's pump ability. So this is just going to be a super low to the ground, super fast Eldrazi aggro deck, not going for the big flashy ones. We're just going for the efficient, beat the opponent down as quickly as possible and overwhelm them before they can set anything up themselves. The sideboard is pretty much just a spread of stuff to try to stop your opponent from mostly doing unfair things. Mindbreak Trap, Fairy Macabre, Dismember, Disruptor Flute, Null Rod. All of that stuff is mostly for various styles of combo decks, whether it's to stop Storm, it's to get things out of the graveyard from Re-Animator and Re-Scaminator, it's to kill a combo piece such as out of any of the breakfast decks, Disruptor Flute and Null Rod shut down activated abilities like Shuko, or they're able to shut down some of the artifact combo decks that are running around out there if you name something like the One Ring, or again, you name like Shuko or Nomads and Core or something like that. Canaptic Scarab Swarm is kind of slow graveyard hate. That's more if you need to just nuke an entire graveyard instead of just 1 or 2 pieces, and you're in a slower matchup. Like, that is something I would probably bring in against Dredge along with Fairy Macabre. And then All Is Dust is basically just going to be a one-sided sweeper 99% of the time, unless you're up against another Eldrazi deck or you're up against an artifact combo deck. All Is Dust, all of your shit is colorless. This is where the Eldrazi Linebreaker technically being colorless does actually come into play here, but it's essentially, for all intents and purposes, going to be a one-mana board, or one-sided board wipe. But yeah, this is Eldrazi aggro. Let's see if we can play some spaghetti monsters on curve and just beat down our opponent before they can do anything about it. I'll catch you all in the wrap-up. Alright, let's see. Lost the die roll, and do not worry, opponent. I will not daze you, bro. Linebacker at the Herald's Kozilek's Command. Yeah, let's keep this. This is a pretty good curve. I like it. So one thing to remember with this particular... Ooh, Meticulous Archive? We could be up against Stifle now, or some kind of control deck. Oh, Breakfast. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton to do against that. We do have the Kozilek's Command to try to exile one of their combo pieces, or we're going to hope that we can just like completely steamroll them here. So let's start out with the Lotus Petal just so I can make sure I can get this at the Herald's the End down around a days. And luckily we're not staring down a turn 2 win here. So, and linebacker plus at the Herald's the End is a very quick clock. And then hopefully we'll be able to hold up this Kozilek's command to maybe get rid of their Cephalid Illusionist or something similar. And if they're just spending their time like cantripping and trying to find answers, that's fine. We could also always use this to clear out a construct blocker if we need it. So I'm liking where we're at so far. Chose not to shuffle off of the Ponder. That's possibly concerning, but we'll see. Because this deck can literally win out of fucking nowhere. Ooh. Chalice actually ain't half bad. So I think we're gonna do this. Go for Eldrazi. Just go for aggro at this point. Just swing in for some massive amounts of damage here. And hope that we can fade for a turn or two. Because if we can make it to next turn, we can slam Eye of Ugin and then hold up Kozilek's command to be able to hopefully take out a blocker or take out a combo piece. So the hope is that they don't just like have land and 2 combo pieces right here. If they do, then we just die. I'm very worried that they've been to Cephalid Illusionist. It makes me think they just have it. There's the Illusionist. Do they have the combo piece to go with it? Oh, they do. Okay. Alright, so we lost this one. We will let them do their thing just so we can see what's in their deck. See if they got anything kind of wonky in here. It looks like they've got the Stoneforge Mystic package going on here, and it's not a Nadu build. But we will see. Okay, Orcish Bowmasters. They're in Esper. That's interesting. Okay, so now that we see their whole deck here, we see that they're in Esper. Bowmasters is a little interesting, but isn't really going to do anything against us here. Teferis we need to be aware of, and Swords to Plowshares. So, apparently I should have gone for the Chalice there. I was kind of considering it, but I figured, what are the chances they literally had this right off of the bat? But we'll see. I like our sideboard plan against what our opponent has. Fairy Macabres are coming in. Dismembers are coming in. Canoptic Scarab Swarm's slow. Disruptor Flute might not be a terrible idea, but I'm not super sure what we're taking out. But let's go ahead and take out Obligator. I don't think we really need that. Endless Ones we can probably take out pretty safely here. I'm thinking the Devourer Destinies might be a bit much. They're a little expensive. We want to go aggro and mildly disruptive. There's something to be said about also maybe just like taking out some number of chalices to bring in these Disruptor Flutes maybe. Because being on the... Well, we'll be on the play, so maybe if we go to a game 3 I do that. Yeah, let's try something like that. See how that goes. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start on this, get the Chalice down quickly, and then start trying to curve out with some aggro stuff. Hope that our opponent doesn't just force our turn 1 Chalice. Alright, let's see if this resolves. Alright, resolved. So that should shut off most of their combo pieces until they hit a Teferi, or if they're gonna go the Urza Saga route to go get a Shuko. And then next turn we can go ahead and just hit the Heralds at the end. Or we might just hold up some mana to be able to, like, Kozilek's command for 2. This also shuts down their removal. So I might just go ahead and hit that Herald's the end here, depending on what we draw. We draw a Dismember. Yeah, let's just hit that Herald's the end for now. Because we can set up to be in a position where, if we can get a big Kozilek's command down, this is going to pump all of the Scions so they can actually attack. This also gives us the option to be able to dismember for 4 life instead of 6 and don't have to attach the Ancient Tomb for it. Alright, what are they going to play here? Is this going to be a Stoneforge Mystic? Or is this a Prismatic? Oh, it's a Prismatic ending. Okay. I suppose that's fine. Yeah, I'm not super worried about that at the moment. We have so much interaction to try to stop their combo. I'm not super worried about it. This does turn on their removal, but... into a Cavern of Souls. Let's go ahead and play that just so that our upcoming Eldrazi are uncounterable. I really wish Cavern of Souls worked for Kindred spells. Pithing Needle. I wonder what they name here. Nothing in this deck has activated abilities. Maybe they pick like Ugin? No, Wasteland. There aren't Wastelands in this deck. That's fine. I am going to go ahead and Cozy Command for 3 here. Play around days instead of trying to go for the full 4. Ooh, no land? That's surprising. Alright, well, let's go ahead and make Scions and Scry and draw. Target ourselves. Like I said, we're going to play around days just to be safe. We're only doing it for 3. They want to force this. I'm okay with that. Okay, we do get a force out of hand for this. And a Cephalid Illusionist. Okay. Top of deck, give me something good. Lotus Petal is not what I wanted. Apparently, resolving that was going to be much bigger than I thought it was going to be. So we gotta hope that our opponent just kind of keeps getting mana screwed, doesn't really do anything, and we start drawing into some good cards. Like, we have the mana to start casting literally anything we draw, so... Alright, so they were Brainstorm locked hard. They're doing this again. This does dig them, in theory, a card deeper. Hopefully they still just keep getting mana screwed. Alright, got out of the Brainstorm lock. Okay. Into a Ponder. Okay, so they're just sculpting their hand trying to find stuff. Hopefully they can, like, stumble enough that we can capitalize on this. Opponent chose to shuffle. That is good. That means their draw was random. They didn't see something they actually liked on top. Ooh, Glaring Fleshraker. That's good. It's also uncounterable. And now we have a win con on board. We have a source of tokens. We have burn. Okay, well, gets rid of a removal spell, but we still get a body out of it. And it means that they're still down on resources. We have the 4-turn clock? And we're still holding up interaction for a combo piece if they draw one. Alright, more cantrips. Those are mostly fine as long as they don't hit anything. Another blind shuffle. Okay. Ooh, Urza Saga. That's a problem. However, we can kill a construct. Narcomoeba. Okay. They are in hard casting Narcomoeba as blocker mode. Got it. So, alright. I have Ugin's not bad. Because this will allow me to go get a card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can sack both of these, and it allows me to go grab an Eldrazi. Alright, and luckily this pumps the Eldrazi Scion too. Jesus Christ, okay. Well, we know they're pretty much drawing blind in general here. That was a bit of a blowout. But we're probably going to go grab... What do we want to grab? Probably a Null Drifter to refuel. Go ahead, get it for your 1, that's fine. Alright, what are we going to grab here? Alright, what do we want to grab here? I said probably a Null Drifter. Devour isn't... Yeah, we're just going to grab a Null Drifter to refuel. Unfortunately, it does tap us out unless we draw land. Okay. Just hard cast this. Colorless, uncounterable. And this leaves up mana to be able to... Oh, I overpaid, apparently. Oops. Oh, yeah, I have Ugin. Derp. I'm an idiot. It's fine. Okay. Linebacker's not bad. That doesn't give us lethal next turn, but it does do quite a bit of damage. I forgot that this was too cheaper because if I have Ugin, I'm so not used to playing that card. If I had done that, I could have actually linebackered this turn. Alright, so they're just tapping out for that. Depending on what they do here, we can always dismember a construct. Get Shadow Spear. Okay, so they're pivoting onto that plan. That's totally fine. We absolutely will dismember this. And they had a force? Jesus Christ. Okay. We need some good runners off the top of our deck then. Our opponent just had insane draws. Alright, get in. Get your life. That's a hell of a swing. I need some... Alright, Thought-Knot Seer doesn't really do it. Well, let's see here. Let's go do this. I don't think this is enough to be able to kill. Let's do this. They don't have anything in their hands, so that's fine. Trying to figure out what we even want to do here. We're going to give it to Null Drifter. See if we can race here, because we can block the constructs. And hope that... They're probably going to get rid of, like... Oh, they got rid of a land. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to be able to gain another 5, but in theory I can at least kill a construct and hope that they don't do shit. Alright, they just hit a land, that's fine. Alright, they're going to do this. They are going to get to draw a land, because I need to kill the bigger one. Yeah. Or I kill that one, chump block that one. I'm still in the same position anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Make them choose which one they want to kill. Probably gonna kill kill the Thought-Knot so they can draw a card. That's fine. Hopefully they don't draw anything relevant here. Alright, just moving the Shadow Spear over. That's fine. Luckily, we've got enough mana to be able to cast pretty much whatever we want without having to tap anything. Anything allows them to be able to get bigger. Yeah, I think we're just going to get in with the linebacker, hold back the Null Drifter. They just sack a land or something useless anyways. See if they're just going to hold back the Construct, or see if they've got something to grow it so that it can actually kill the Null Drifter and get damage through. Cabal Therapy. Okay, that's fine. What do you think I have, opponent? Joke's on you, my hand is absolutely terrible. And luckily all of their removal makes it so that I actually... Yeah, Kozilek's Command, good choice. But all their removal makes it so that I would basically... whatchamacallit... gain life. However, they do have a Cephalid Illusionist now, which is kind of scary. Well, we will kill the Construct. Hope that we hit, like, a Cozy's Command or something. Something to be able to get rid of the Cephalid Illusionist and put them back to nothing. Oh my god. Okay, is there anything I can do here? Let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, no. I still can't do anything and we're in top deck mode. Like, this is just unfortunate. I mean, we're gonna push the advantage. Like, hopefully they just top deck nothing and we can beat them down. They can move this over to swing in for 2, put me to 1. Alright, just a land, that's fine. It is a Meticulous Archive, though. Can't do anything anyways. Just some terrible draws from my side, and our opponent just had some insane ones. Now a top-decked Orcish Bowmasters kills us as well. Alright, Null Drifter. Give me something good. 2, 3... 4, and 5. Alright. Okay. Glaring Fleshraker helps. We're going to give it to the Null Drifter and hope that we can still manage to avoid them just top decking what they need. They probably did, yeah, they got rid of the Pithing Needle. I had a feeling they would. And then next turn, we Fleshraker, play Lotus Petal to automatically get value off of it. And then hopefully we are able to just kill them. We just need to dodge one more draw, and we can take this to a game 3. Forcible into the graveyard. Okay, so they are drawing blind. Oh my god, they top deck the Nomads. Oh, alright, good game, opponent. Good game. Just had to fade one more draw. Alright, round 2. Lost the die roll again. I mean, this isn't a bad hand. I got Endless One down on turn 1. I don't have red mana for Obligator, though. See, without that, I actually think I gotta ship this one. Okay, we can definitely keep this. Let's keep this, and let's put... I think we're gonna put the Secluded Courtyard to the bottom for now. We have the Lotus Petal for colored mana if we need it. It kind of sucks if we want to get down Glaring Fleshraker on turn 1, but I think we'll probably end up just going for it on turn 2. That way we can also play it around to days and get the value out of our Lotus Petal. Alright, ooh, Obligator's nice. I actually think I want to play Ivugin right now, and then just pass the turn. I might be able to... I should be able to Fleshraker and Linebacker next turn, and kind of just start going to town. Some of it is counterable, admittedly. Opponent shuffled off with the Ponder. They're brainstorming. I'm just hoping they're not on like some kind of Beans control or something with Wastelands, because that kind of does ruin our entire plan here. Okay, doesn't look like it. Alright, let's see how much of this they end up deciding that they want to counter. Ooh, and a K command. Okay. And luckily, this is 1 mana. It is counterable, I suppose, if they wanted to get real cheeky with this. Alright, they did not. There's also a world where I could go ahead and just Thought-Knot Seer here, but I'm not sure. Do I want to Thought-Knot? Yeah, I think I want to Thought-Knot first to see what the hell's going on over there. Since the whatchamacallit replaces itself, this is also going to let me still be able to Eldrazi Obligator, assuming that they don't counter this. Alright, opponent's brainstorming away some cards, so they just don't want me to see what's in their hand. which is perfectly reasonable. Either that or they're looking for a Force of Will for this Thought-Knot Seer. Sultai something. Okay, it is Force of Will. But this is still going to let me go ahead and play the Obligator. And now this Kozilek's command is also a Fireball. We're just going to give it to the linebacker itself. Our opponent also did do a ton of damage to themselves in the process of doing that. And turned this into a 2-turn clock. And what? They checked a Brainstorm, so they're Sultai something. I just don't know what yet. And they are dead on board. Alright, just go some fetches. 2 mana. Is this a Murktide Regent? If it's a Murktide Regent, that's not the worst thing in the world. Because I can still just fireball the shit out of them. It is a 7/7, but they are going to have to chump block with it and let it die. Ooh, Reality Smasher. That's interesting. However, I think I'm still just better off trying to fireball them with a Kozilek's command. Or do I want a Smasher here? Smasher actually probably is the smarter choice here, and then get in with it. Yeah, let's go ahead and Smasher. And then we will save the Kozilek's command for next turn to try to fireball the opponent. And they scoop it up anyways. Okay, so we didn't even have to worry about fireballing it. Sultai Delver? Sultai Control of some sort? Not super sure what it is. Scarab Swarm actually seems halfway decent here. I haven't seen what else they're doing. We can probably take out the Endless Ones, bring in the Scarab Swarms to try to keep the graveyard clear before they can get a Murktide Regent down. Other than that, we just saw a bunch of cantrips and counters, so let's try that. Alright, what do we have here? I can set up my top deck with Devourer. And I've got an uncounterable It That Heralds the End, but no other lands, but this will let me look for a land. And then I got a pretty damn good curve here. I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. And because I'm on the draw, it also does actually let me set up my draw for the turn. Alright, let's see what we got here. Honestly, I probably just want to land more than anything. Do I want the Secluded Courtyard? Do I want the Lotus Petal? I think I probably just want the Secluded Courtyard, honestly. Play with the Secluded Courtyard. Choose Eldrazi. We will play with the Lotus Petal, and then next turn we're going to try to do an uncounterable Fleshraker, and then hope that we can get some value off of it before they get a chance to kill it. Alright, opponent's got double... Oh, Psychic Frog! Okay. We do have an answer for that. So this is like Sultai Re-Scaminator, maybe? Like, eventually we will have enough mana to be able to just kill the Psychic Frog. That's totally fine. Eldrazi Linebreaker. Interesting. Alright, choose Eldrazi. We are going to go ahead and... This one produces colorless. This one produces uncounterable mana. And we are going to play the Fleshraker and pass the turn. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to take advantage of it right away. Alright, do not have a removal spell, bro. Unfortunately, I will be taking Psychic Frog hits for a moment. Because they can grow it to the point where they'll just chuck their whole fucking hand to get rid of Fleshraker. So unfortunately, I am going to let them draw a card off of this. Like I said, we got the Kozilek's command, so as long as we can hit some stuff to do, we can K-command it away. Alright, chose not to shuffle off of the Ponder. It's concerning. Alright, unfortunately, they are going to get another card off of this, because I cannot afford to lose this Fleshraker. How much damage are they willing to push? None at the moment. This was such a, like, this flew under a ton of people's radar. This is such a pushed and busted card. And a Wasteland. Ugh. Okay, just wipe our whole board. This is going to be a non-game very quickly, apparently. I mean, at least it's an Eldrazi Temple. We are gonna go ahead and see if we can get this Linebreaker down and just race him at the moment. Okay, we're just gonna go to the next one. Our opponent had the nuts. That's fine. It happens. We will just go to the next one. Now that we know what they are doing, we will bring in the Disruptor Flutes for sure. Probably take out... They aren't as reliant on the graveyard as I thought they were, so maybe we just take out the Scarab Swarms, swap them out for Disruptor Flutes, and let's take out one Devourer and try something like that. Alright, let's just run them over, which this hand kind of does, so let's keep it. Because this is a ton of mana, a Disruptor Flute to shut down Psychic Frog, and a Chalice on one to shut down their cantrips. Or it forces a Force Will out of their hand and puts them down 2 cards already. I was really thinking if they want to force this or not. Alright, they decided they do want to force it. So that does get 2 cards out of their hand, and then we will go ahead and slam a Disruptor Flute next turn, probably, to set up for a big K command. Another Chalice off the top would be nice. Ponder, okay. Chose to shuffle, okay. That's fine. And even though Flute has Flash, I'm just going to play it at sorcery speed to make sure that they have less looks at being able to find another counterspell. Alright, gonna name Psychic Frog, and then we're gonna pass the turn. So it's going to cost them more to cast it, and they cannot activate it. And then hopefully we can just do a big-ass K command to scry and make a bunch of Scions. Or we draw a Thought-Knot Seer and get to see what the hell's going on over there. Unfortunately, this isn't the most mana-efficient way to do things. I did technically overpay, but it's whatever. See what our opponent's got going on over there. They could brainstorm in response if they want to. They do not. Murktide Daze Life from the Loam. I think we just want to take the Murktide Regent. Like, we could have taken the Life from the Loam, but I don't really care about that at the moment. Like, we have so much mana that even if they manage to find a Wasteland lock, we're so far ahead at this point, I don't think it matters. And I don't currently have a clean answer to a Murktide Regent. Like, I could wait until I have enough mana to be able to Kozilek's command it away, but they've been to force because now it's pointless anyways. I do need to be careful about this Daze just in case I need to go all out on this Kozilek's command. If they drew another Murktide, they could make a small one. Nope, just gonna Life from Loam some lands back. That is fine. A Lotus Petal. Let's just go ahead and play the Secluded Courtyard. And hope that we can just make a bunch of Scions on their end step. Make sure we pay 1 less so that we can pay for the Daze. And hope that this Thought-Knot Seer can get us there. Okay, they chose not to dredge. That's fine. And our opponent skips up. They didn't even want to deal with it. Alright, Eldrazi taking down Sultai, Eldrazi Aggro, Midrange, thingamabob. I like it. I like it a lot. On the next one. Alright, finally won a die roll on the play. I like it. This hand is not keepable at all. This one, it's a little wonky. Like, being able to go Chalice into it that heralds the end is nice if I hit a land. But it does also decrease the amount of cards I have. It's just so awkward is the problem. There are quite a few lands in the deck. We have a good shot at drawing them. Opponent's beginning on 7. This could also just be a dead game if Chalice doesn't affect them much, but I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. I can't do anything with this Line Breaker at the moment. We're just going to trust the heart of the cards that we draw some lands. And that a Chalice is going to be good against our opponent. Alright, well, it instantly resolved. And this is where we find out they're a Stompy deck and they don't give a shit about this Chalice. They're a lands deck. Okay. That is mildly problematic. Oh, they're an Eldrazi deck as well. Okay. Give me some lands then, deck. Into a Line Breaker. Okay. Well, hopefully our mana screw doesn't screw us over here. Alright, our opponent decided to Kozilek's command for 1. So they're ramping. Unfortunately, they've got lands and we don't, so we're probably going to get run over pretty quickly here. They did bottom whatever they scried, so hopefully they're just flooding out on lands and don't have anything going on. Is this a Flush Raker? Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, yeah, you can see our hand. We need lands badly here is the problem. Alright. Okay, yeah, we're done here. We're gonna go to the next one. I kept a risky hand, betting on a Chalice, and the bet did not pay off. No shame in that. We will just move to the next one. Up against Eldrazi. I mean, bring in Dismembers. Chalice is absolutely fucking useless. I guess bring in Disruptor Flutes as well to shut down their Wastelands. Obligator seems good. Yeah, let's try a 2-2 split like that. Bring in Dismembers, Disruptor Flutes. Just take out the Chalices. Try that. Okay, let's not keep as risky of a hand this time. This is turn 1 Flesh Raker into absolutely fucking nothing. Or turn 2 Flesh Raker, make a dude. I think I gotta go for something stronger than this. Okay, we can keep this. What do we put back? Probably the Lotus Petal. And we can show off the Devourer to start. Because this will set up our next draw. Because what I plan on doing here is Eldrazi Temple into It That Heralds the End, Eye of Ugin, Thought-Knot Seer. And then hopefully turn 3 Devourer. Alright, what do we have going on here? I think... Do I want Runner, Thought-Knot Seer, or do I want to try to do stuff with Linebacker? I think just Runner, Thought-Knot Seer is probably better. Like I said, as long as they can't, like, turn 1 Thought-Knot us here, or, like, a turn 1 Wasteland would also be annoying. Alright, looks like they're just gonna copy us. Hopefully their hand isn't very good, and we're just going to hopefully tear it the fuck apart. Let's see what they got going on over there. Okay, that is totally fine. Their Wasteland is mildly annoying, but let's take their Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah, like, they're It That Heralds the End. While annoying is not the end of the world. Or, Wasteland, if they decide they want to, like, take us off of our Eye of Ugin or something. Because they could still develop their mana, or they might just be like, screw it, the Wasteland's not worth it. Okay, they do choose the Cavern. 3 mana, what did they get? Okay, they hit a Flesh Raker. And there's Wasteland. Are they... Okay, they're going after the Eldrazi Temple. Interesting choice. It's also going to be interesting to see if they're willing to trade their whole board for this Thought-Knot Seer. We know they have an It That Heralds the End, so we're just going to go ahead and take that. And are they willing to lose their entire board to draw a card? I probably should have attacked first, just in case they did. But I like where we're at to the... Okay, they're not willing to trade their whole board for it. Okay, and then next turn we... Devourer of Destiny? Maybe? Alright, they have another Eldrazi of some sort. Another Flesh Raker. Okay. So... They got some good draws there. They are in a position where they could probably profitably start blocking Thought-Knot Seers. I need something good here. Lotus Petal. Okay, so I can Devourer, and I think that might honestly just be the best move here. Just get it out and start trying to go to town. 2, 3, and 4. And just hope that I can out-aggro them while they are in top deck mode. It is a little dangerous to let them draw a card, but I need to try to just aggro them out here. Because I'm assuming they're going to double block one of these, yeah. Ooh, and they're willing to get rid of most of their board for this. Okay, that's fine. They do get a draw. Hopefully it's just a land. Right, hopefully neither of those is a relatively impactful card. Hopefully they were both just lands. It looks like it might be? Okay, well they weren't lands or they would have played them. I'm guessing maybe there's like a Kozilek's command or something. Or we have a Kozilek's command that we can cast as well. What can I do here? I've got a K command for 2/3. I can get rid of the Flesh Raker. I actually don't hate that. Let's make some Scions and exile their Flesh Raker. Because the Scions are going to let me be able to... the Scions are going to give me more bodies to be able to attack with. They also make it so that any of my big Eldrazi I draw, I can just cast. And they scooped that one up. Okay, cool. We were able to run them over that time. Being on the draw, do I want to change anything, really? Probably not. Yeah, let's just go ahead and run it back again and see if we can do that again. Alright, this hand... It's interesting. I can kill an early threat from them, but I don't really have anything else going on with this hand. I can linebacker real fast. Opponent is keeping... I think we're going to ship this and try for a stronger hand. Okay, we can keep this. Let's put... I don't think Cavern of Souls is going to be particularly relevant here. We will try to just, like, chain It That Heralds the End into a Flesh Raker. Alright, or maybe we start out with Flesh Raker and then do double It That Heralds the End next turn? Yeah, I think we want to do that. Flesh Raker into double It That Heralds the End next turn seems pretty good to me. Because this is also going to make our Flesh Raker and our Scions bigger. Oh, they're going to dismember it. Okay. Okay, that's not the worst thing that could happen. Now, if they follow this up with a Wasteland, that kind of is, but... Please just play another hit that hit. God damn it. Okay, well, now we need lands. Our opponents today have just had some absolutely insane draws. Like, another... Okay, a Secluded Courtyard at least does something. It allows us to at least get back in this game, hopefully. This is going to be a Thought-Knot Seer, I'm sure. Yep. I'm assuming they take one of the It that heralds the ends. Yep, takes one of the It that heralds the ends. I wouldn't hate a Dismember of my own to kill this Thought-Knot Seer now. Disruptor Flute is not what I'm looking for here. I was going to say, this match very much seems like it literally just comes down to a die roll. Like, the flip of the coin, basically. Whoever goes first wins is what it seems like here. Yeah, we're... Well... Not quite dead. We're super close. 6, 11, 13. They swing out. 7, 13. I go to 1. If I hit a linebacker, I win. Okay, let's see what happens. Linebacker off the top. Or linebreaker, whatever it is. Come on, come on, come on. Eldrazi Temple does not do it. Because what? This would be 3. This drops by 1. So close. So close. Womp. Alright, on to the next one. Alright. I mean, this allows us to do a lot of stuff if we draw threats. Do I want to risk that? We do have a lot of our lands in our hand. I think we're going to ship this. I don't think with how our draws have gone it's worth it. Okay, we can keep this. Let's go ahead and... Let's put the Endless one back. Turn 1, It that heralds the end. Turn 2, Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, up against something unfair over there. Into a Psychic Frog right off the bat. Wow, decks are like turbo Psychic Frogging now? That's, interesting. Eye of Ugin. I mean, we will let them draw a card because we're going to be able to take it with Thought-Knot Seer next turn. And then we're just going to hope that we can out-aggro the shit out of them. And depending on what we do, we might actually be able to get down a... Okay, well, that's not happening now. I was going to say, we might be able to get down a Fleshraker as well. I mean, there's still a world where we can. Oh my god, our fucking opponent's draws today. Holy shit. Like, we've just been up against opponents who have had the absolute fucking nuts every single game. I mean, we're just going to play an Eldrazi Temple and go. Again, this sets us up to possibly be able to Fleshraker into something else next turn. If we draw a colorless spell that we can cast. Or, like, another It that heralds the end or something. We're just hoping that we can, like, overrun our opponent here. But if they're just going to keep getting, like, fucking nut draws. That being said, they're not hitting land drops, so their hand is 100% spells at the moment. But they can also make this thing huge. Okay, we have a way to kill it now. I think we're going to try to see what the hell is going on over there first. If this gets 2 cards for Force Will out of their hand, that's fine, because it gives me something to be able... It gets a counter out of the way so that I can try to kill Psychic Frog. Alright, this is getting a Force Will out of hand. Force Will and a Brainstorm are gone. So hopefully this will allow us to be able to kill the Psychic Frog next turn. Alright, they finally hit a land. I would like to get the Fleshraker down first if possible, but we'll see. Also, this is just followed up by, like, a Murktide Regent. Well, it can't be a Murktide Regent, so never mind. Tameo. Okay. I still think we want to get rid of the Psychic Frog. So what? I have 6 mana? This should give me the mana to be able to do everything I need to. Because I only need to pay 1 here. And then we are going to go ahead and cast this. Exile target creature. And create dudes. I'm going to create dudes. I'm going to exile the Psychic Frog. X is currently 2. Actually, undo that. I'd rather use this so that I can hold up to be able to pay for a daze. We're going to do this for 2 so I can pay for a daze. Okay, cool. Managed to kill that. We have a bunch of mana to do stuff with now. Hopefully they can't flip this Tameo next turn, but we'll find out. So whatever Eldrazi we draw next turn, we can make uncounterable. We also could just draw or go find an Eldrazi. Alright, so opponent's just doing this to get the clue token, which is fine. We can't block it, it's not doing any damage. Brainstorm? Yes, auto flip Tameo, that's mostly fine. It is going to make our Flesh Raker weaker, but if we just hit like a Devourer of Destiny or something, that works. Alright, Tamiya flips. They can't buy anything back yet, but they can tick it up. They hit a Wasteland. I'm guessing they go after the Ivy again. No, they go after the Eldrazi Temple. Okay. Interesting. And they didn't take up Tamiyo. Into a Lotus Petal. Okay, we'll just play that. Make a dude. Burn him. And then I guess we'll just go kill the Tamiyo? I don't understand why they didn't. Why did they not take up the Tamiyo? Did they just forget? Do they have a dismember? Oh, we're gonna kill the Tamiyo. Like, do they want it to die so that they turn on Fatal Push to kill the Fleshraker? I'm very confused. No. Okay, that was a very weird line of play to not take up the Tamiyo. Okay, they got another one. Maybe they just didn't care? Seems very odd to me. Also, I'm at the point where I could use Eye of Ugin, but we're gonna go ahead and Chalice on one. Make another dude. See if they care about this Chalice on one. It needs to be a Force of Will, because I can pay for a daze, no problem. And this shuts down all of their cantrips now. There's no point in attacking, so let's just pass the turn. This shuts down most of their removal, too, it looks like. Because, like, Fatal Push is off now. Yeah, the not taking up the Tamiyo just seems like a really weird choice. I don't know, maybe they missed it, maybe there's some logic behind it, I just don't know what it is. Sure, go ahead and get in. I mean, like, there's still ways that they theoretically could flip this Tamiyo, but it's going to be a lot harder with Brainstorm and Ponder and all that stuff shut off. I also need to be aware of Orcish Bowmasters surprise blocking this Glaring Fleshraker. Lotus Petal, okay. They could also get a Murktide region now that they have access to more blue mana. It looks like maybe that's what's going on. Oh, Shoulder's Edict. Okay. Okay. I mean, we've got a lot of good top decks. Like, we just need to hit one of our big Eldrazi and just start going to town. Into a nut. Jesus Christ. Okay, problem is it sacrifices our entire board? Okay. Just some very unfortunate draws today, it seems, but we'll see. If they have another mana source, they could actually, like, crack both of their clues to be able to flip Tamiyo. Or they're just going to start banking up clues to try to get some cards back. I just need, like, one good draw, and this game is cracked wide open right now. That counts as a good draw. Eldrazi. Make a thing. Pay a mana. And make a thing. Exile your Tamiyo. Alright, this is exactly what we needed, which is a big ol' block, or a big ol' attacker to kind of crack this open. Now we don't have a risk of Tamiyo flipping. Unless they got some weird draw spell that's 2 or 3 mana to be able to flip this at instant speed. And now we got a 6/6, which is good. It's a 3-turn clock. Cracking a clue. Okay. We just kind of need to avoid some more Shoulder's Edict style effects so that they can't take out our Devourer. Yep, that gets countered. Are they trying to fuel up for a Murktide region is what I'm wondering here. A It that heralds the end off the top is game over. Reality Smasher's real good too. Now I can actually run these cards out as well, because my whatchamacallit's already gone. Reality Smasher, make a red, make whatever. Now let's just sacrifice 2 of these little dudes, because I don't really matter at this point. And now, what was a 3-turn clock is now a 2-turn clock. I apparently overpaid, because I'm an idiot. Oops, this... Okay, they scoop it up anyways. I accidentally didn't click this. But didn't end up mattering. They scooped it up anyways. Alright, so more like Turbo Psychic Frog bullshit. Okay. Disruptor Flutes in. I'm assuming they have some kind of graveyard synergies here. Bring Canoptic Scarab Swarm. I've not been a fan of Endless Ones. We can go ahead and take that out. 3 more cuts. We could try to go a little bit slower and take out some petals. I don't really want to take anything else out. Maybe we don't need the Scarab Swarms yet. We didn't see a Graveyard Synergy, but I'm assuming there is some. Chalice isn't as good on the draw, so maybe trim 2 of those. Trim 1 Devourer of Destiny? Yeah, let's try something like that. I don't hate this. I don't really like it, but I don't hate it. I think we're going to try to keep it. Because what I'm thinking is turn 1, It That Heralds the End, into turn 2 Linebacker? Or Linebreaker? Oh, just a Tamiyo. Are they going to be able to flip it instantly? They have not yet. Okay. This also allows us to be able to Chalice on 1 if we top deck it. Ooh, Disruptor Flute. I think we're just going to stick with the plan for now. Try to get this down, do what I said we want to do next turn, and just try to aggro our opponent out. We will see, though. Alright, do you just want the clue, or do you not have the cantrip? Okay, still cannot honestly tell. I would not... Ooh, another It That Heralds the End. However, I think I'm better off trying to get this Linebreaker down. Choose Eldrazi. See if this hits the battlefield and resolves. I think we just want to out-aggro our opponent here if possible. They're doing something. Consign... Ooh, okay, interesting. Okay. Well, next turn, we're probably going to go ahead and just play another It That Heralds the End. Our opponent is on a defensive hand, which I'm kind of okay with at the moment. And luckily, we're in a position where they can't super cut us off of mana either. So, we'll see. Cracking a clue. Okay, so they're trying to see if they can flip Tamiyo. Okay, they're flipping Tamiyo. Hopefully they don't activate Tamiyo again. We also could just Disruptor Flute on Tamiyo so that they can't activate it. Are they going to see that they can actually tick up Tamiyo again this time? Yes, they finally learn. Okay. They still don't hit a land, though, so that's interesting. Ooh, or we can just try to Chalice on 1. I don't hate that. I think we're going to go ahead and try to do that. On Eldrazi, see if we can get a Chalice on 1 down, cut off their cantrips and their removal. See if this gets another Force Will out of their hand, maybe, also. Alright, get the Daze out of hand. Okay. I had a feeling that was probably going to happen, but we'll see. We're going to try to keep Tamiyo low. That way, if they want to return something to their hand, they gotta kill their Tamiyo. Replay their island, which is fine. Alright, taking up the Tamiyo, that's fine. Plays another Tamiyo. Okay. So this is just like Tamiyo Tribal. Got it. Eldrazi Obligator. Well, let's play this. I can actually do both of these things. Obligator, however, does not get to steal Tamiyo. Well, let's play a It That Heralds the End. Nice little 1-mana Lord. And the Eldrazi Obligator also has haste, which is nice. Alright, they're going to counter it. That's fine-ish. And let's just play the Obligator. I can't pay. We'll just target that. I can't pay anyways. They could always get Consigned to Memory back here. Because we are going to go ahead and get in. Try to tick Tamiyo down a bit. Ooh, Force of Will pitching Psychic Frog? Okay. I guess they could return their Consigned to Memory to their hand if they want. There's no point attacking. They'll just block. So this is 3, 4, 5. I'm still too short of being able to play Null Drifter. Alright, they're just ticking it up. They're not getting their thing back. They're going to try to ultimate it next turn, I'm sure. So we need to find a way to do that. This is cost 3 more. Activated abilities can't be activated, so I think we need to hit Tamiyo and hope that they don't have a counter. Lotus Petal isn't bad. So what is this? Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. This also allows me to be able to pay for a daze. And we're going to see if this will resolve. Like I said, I can pay for a daze. They're trying to draw a card. Okay, they're looking for a Force, I'm assuming. All right. Whoops. Tamiyo. Okay, so their Tamiyo is offline now. And I'm 1 mana away from being able to Null Drifter. I would love a Cavern of Souls so I can make it uncounterable. But now I don't have to worry about Tamiyo anymore. They've got some black mana finally. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Flood Moon has arrived. The Flood Moon. That does make some things a little more difficult, but it actually allows me to evoke this Null Drifter if I wanna. I don't have colorless mana for Glaring Fleshraker, but I think we're going to go ahead and evoke this Null Drifter and hope that it draws me into something good. These Flood Moon style effects are really good against this deck, because you do actually need legitimate colorless mana for a bunch of these spells, and like I do literally nothing. I don't think I've got a basic anywhere in the deck. Like, I'm pretty... If I remember the deck list correctly, there's not a basic waste anywhere in this deck to be able to get around that. So our hope is that we can just... did we bring Dismember in? I don't think we did. No. So we're going to want to bring in Dismember. Basically, the hope is that they just don't draw anything relevant. And we are able to just ride this It That Betrays, or It That Heralds the End to victory, or we just keep hitting land drops to be able to eventually actually just cast an Drifter. But unfortunately, they do have a card advantage engine going pretty hardcore right now. Because even a removal spell requires double colorless mana. Reality Smasher. If only. Now if they got like a Bowmasters or something, like if they find a way to kill this It That Heralds the End, I'm probably going to scoop it up. And it looks like they have a way to do it. Yeah, okay, we're just going to go to the next one. I was not expecting Herald of the Flood Moon. That being said, now that we know that that's a thing, we bring in Dismembers. The reason I didn't is because Psychic Frog can just outscale it so fast that it doesn't matter. So Dismember's coming in for sure. Chalices seem good coming back in here. Let's get rid of the Scarab Swarm. Trim a Flute. Let's just trim another Devourer. Yeah, let's try something like that. Alright, deck. I also looked, we do have one basic waste in the deck. So I like the Devourer to set things up. I can turn one It That Heralds the End, turn 2 Disruptor Flutes, and hope that I hit something relevant off of this Devourer? Is that good enough? They tend to be a slower deck. I think we're going to try it. I like the double Cavern of Souls. We could also Disruptor Flute and name Tamiyo or Psychic Frog or something. We could name the Flood Moon. Alright, let's see. What do we want to draw next turn? We want to draw Temple next turn. Choose Eldrazi. And then, unfortunately, this is counterable because I have to do colorless mana, which that part sucks, but it is what it is. Alright. Do they just have, like, the turbo? No, okay, they don't. I was gonna say, do they just, like, turbo out fucking Flood Moon? Like, honestly, I might just throw this Disruptor Flute on that Harbinger of Tides just so they can't screw us over right away. And so that it hopefully buys us some time. Ooh, what are they doing? Is this a Fatal Push? Yes. Okay. Well, that kind of makes everything a little bit easier. I might actually put this first Disruptor Flute on... They theoretically could Flood Moon us next turn. But I think we're going to go ahead and play this out and just name... yeah, let's name the Harbinger of Tides thing. I'm not as worried about Tamiyo. Oh, they're just going to daze it. Okay. Interesting. They care about that. So, unless they have, again, double Lotus Petal, they can't Harbinger next turn, and then we can uncounterably Thought-Knot Seer them? Or not. Okay, they're going after the Eldrazi Temple, or the Cavern of Souls, which is probably the least impactful of the lands they could have gone after, to be honest, since we have a replacement. Ancient Tomb, I think we're just going to go ahead and try a Thought-Knot Seer here. Hopefully they don't have a Force of Will. If they do, they got us. Okay. Well, I've got 5 mana next turn and an uncounterable Eldrazi. What did they get rid of there? Consign? Okay. Ugh. Okay, there's the island. Give me something to be able to cast with this Cavern deck. Secluded Courtyard, okay. On Eldrazi. Unfortunately, this is going to be 6 mana next turn. I'm still 1 short of the Devourer. Oh my god. Okay, apparently our opponent was just like, no to land destruction. Okay. I mean, going after the Ancient Tomb's fine. However, they're not really progressing their board state, and they're not casting cantrips, so I'm not super concerned yet. Eldrazi Linebreaker at least lets me do something here. And it's uncounterable, so now I have a clock at least. And I can give itself haste, so I mean, a 4-3 trample ain't bad. I mean, it's something to do, especially if our opponent isn't hitting land drops. Or they're spending all their time trying to counter and take me off of mana. However, I am getting to the point now where, like, mana actually matters. If they have Wasteland number 3 and it goes after the Eldrazi Temple, then we have issues. Or if they have another Fatal Push, or if they have, like, a Psychic Frog. Now we're getting to the point where Harbinger of the Flood Moon is a problem if they have it. I would love another Thought-Knot Seer here. Into an Ancient Tomb. This is still only 6 mana. Well, let's see what they do here. Hopefully they don't have the Flood Moon, dude. Or they just don't have another land. Triple blocking with a Bowmasters. Okay. That's fine, I guess. This is still going to go through for 2 more. Okay, I mean, we're in virtually top deck wars, I guess. I guess it depends on what they got going on over there. Like, as long as they don't Flood Moon me, we're still in this game. If they do, then we have issues. Okay. Flood Moon ain't coming this turn. Actually, turn off auto yields. Fake like we have a Kozilek's command or something. Hopefully they shuffle. A land to get this Devourer of Destiny down would be nice, just so I have a big body on board that's hard for them to deal with. A K command also would be nice. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that would actually be pretty good. Did not shuffle. Okay. Yeah, just even a land just to get this Devourer of Destiny down would be nice. Or like I said, a K command or something. Chalice. I mean, I guess we're going to try Chalice on one. Hopefully they just didn't shuffle because of the fact that they needed the land. And they don't actually have the Flood Moon, dude. Alright, their cantrips are shut off. Unfortunately, I didn't have 6 mana to be able to put Chalice on 3. Psychic Frog's a problem. Land to kill it would be great. Land to kill it, Lotus Petal to kill it, something like that. Okay, that works. Make colorless mana, or whatever colored mana, doesn't really matter. I need 4 more? Alright, this is a clean answer to the Psychic Frog. It's a cast trigger and it's uncounterable. And now I have a threat on board even if they get Flood Moon thing down. And it's a 2-turn clock. So, however, if they can Edict and then Flood Moon, or Flood Moon and then Edict, we'll have problems. But we'll see what happens here. Their cantrips are shut down at least, so they can't sculpt their hand anymore. They also would have to be forced to chump block at some point. Or, okay, they got the Edict. Let's hope that I can just keep drawing bangers off the top. No more mana. We have plenty. Just give me creatures. Eye of Ugin lets me go find a creature. Okay. Okay. Cool. This is going to let me go find a creature. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just go grab a Null Drifter to refuel my hand. Oppo Agent would suck. Oh my god, do they really have Oppo Agent? Do not tell me they have Oppo Agent. Okay, I was about to say, if they have Oppo Agent, I'm about to lose my fucking mind. Grab Null Drifter. And this is going to refuel my hand now. Oh, and a Thought-Knot Seer? I love it. I do have the mana to do everything, but we're going to go ahead and Null Drifter first. Cast it. And I need 2. We are going to do a bunch of damage to ourselves, because I'm also going to leave up the ability to Thought-Knot Seer as well. Because if I can get another card out of their hand now... What is this? Okay, so they can counter... I am very confused. They can counter the draw trigger, but they can't counter the spell itself. So the one targeting that is countered, or I can just pay for them and I don't care. Okay, so the first one is targeted there. Okay. Oh, right, it's not a pay for one. I'm an idiot. It's fine, whatever. Well, we'll do that. Get that onto the battlefield. I don't know why I was thinking it was a Flusterstorm effect. I've just been out of it today. It's fine. What do they got over there? 2 Ponders. Okay, that's fine. That is totally fine. So now we just hope that we can ride this out to victory here, because they got a Ponder locked in their hand they can't do anything with. I'm going to be able to start annihilating them. Okay, Psychic Frog is fine. You can make Psychic Frog a little bit bigger if you want. Ooh, and a Kozilek's command? Can I just make this lethal? I'm curious. I mean, we're just going to get this out of the way before they draw Force. We're going to Scry and Exile. Scry, Exile. X is currently 2. Is it not? X can't be less than 2. Oh, right. Gotta pay the mana. Alright, X is currently 2. Answer your frog. And they scoop it up to the Kozilek's command. Okay, going into the final round, playing for the positive record. Let's see if the Spaghetti Monsters can pull it together. Alright, final round. Lost the die roll. I think we're going to give this a shot. Like, hopefully a turn... What the... Okay, their second main phase hipster. Port... Ooh, okay, so this is probably a lands adjacent strategy, like Maverick or something. So let's shut down their tutors real quick. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just shut down their tutors. So this is going to shut down Crop Rotation. This is going to shut down Elvish Rejuvenator, or Reclaimer, whatever it is. And then next turn, we try to Thought-Knot Seer. This also shuts down any potential Explore shenanigans. They could have Prismatic Endings to get rid of this, but if they do, so be it. Scavenging it. Oh, okay, interesting. My creatures should be bigger than theirs in general. So I think I'm going to go ahead and, depending on what we draw here, ooh, Null Drifter, I like that. So there's something to be said about just, like, playing out Eldrazi Temple, getting rid of Scavenging Ooze before it can do anything. Think, though, I'm going to go ahead and Thought-Knot Seer. We shouldn't have to worry about counter magic here. See what they got. Try to get a removal spell out of their hand. See if they got, like, a Swords to Plowshares or something. And then next turn I can either Line Breaker or I can K-Command and kill the Skoos, depending on what we see in their hand. Because this will... Well, actually, now that I think about it, Force of Will. Okay, this isn't what I was expecting at all. So we might go ahead and K-Command next turn to ramp and kill the Skoos? Is this like a weird Nadu deck? Hopefully their hand is just a bunch of cantrips now. Yeah, go ahead, eat the Thought-Knot Seer, that's fine. Like I said, I think we're just going to go ahead and... Okay, it is Nadu. So they're doing this to make their Scavenging Ooze bigger. Hopefully their hand isn't just another Force blue card or a Daze. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and exile and cantrip next turn. I'm wondering if they've got Nadu in hand. Yeah, go ahead and eat your halfling. I'll take 4, that's fine. Or we can do another Thought-Knot Seer and take another 4. I think I'd rather... let's see what they got going on over there first. They might think twice about getting in with this Skoos. And I'd rather this get countered than K-Command. This also can get rid of a Nadu if they have one. Teferi and Swords. Okay. We take the Teferi. And then next turn we K-Command them. I'll let them get their 4, that's fine. I'm not going to let them draw a card. Oh, they're holding back. Interesting. Alright, this is also going to let me get around to Daze, because I'm going to have extra mana up. Alright, I think we're kind of winning this one. Alright, we are going to cast this. Create dudes and exile. Target us. Target that. Just ramp it up, because this is also going to let us Line Breaker to get even more damage in. Makes 2 Scion spawns. Let us sacrifice them, so that I get a Line Breaker now. And let's push some damage. They have a removal spell that's completely shut off. And then next turn we can uncounterably Null Drifter to refuel our hand next turn. So, I like where we're at. So this is definitely some kind of Nadu deck. Luckily, they can't get a Shuko onto the battlefield to start going crazy with it. And this is essentially a 2-turn clock. They don't know it's a 2-turn clock, because this Null Drifter is going to come down, get haste, and be able to kill him. Assuming nothing goes horribly wrong here. And the opponent scoops it up. Okay, Bant Nadu. Dismembers in. Disruptor Flutes in. There's a part of me that wants to bring in All Is Dust as well. So I think I will. Obligator doesn't seem great here. Again, I'm just not super impressed with Endless One, but it at least gives me easy things to cut. Being on the draw, let's trim a Chalice, a Devourer, and maybe trim 1 Reality Smasher. Just kind of trim some stuff overall. Yeah, let's try something like that. Alright, what do we got here? We've actually got a pretty good hand here, so I like this. It's a little slower than I'd like, but We can turn 1 It That Heralds the End, turn 2 Uncounterable Fleshraker. I think we're going to give this a shot. We can eventually name Disruptor Flute so that we can name Shuko. And then we work our way up to just all his dusting if we need to. I would like a little bit more explosive hand than this, but we're going to see how this goes. Opponent starts off with a Once Upon a Time. Just a fetch land, that's fine. Plays the fetch land. Okay, they're not accelerating out of turn 2 Nadu or Teferi, which I'm actually super okay with. A soul land to be able to flash this flute in would actually be kind of nice. Or another Disruptor Flute. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just see if we can suss some counters out. Because next turn we can try to just start flashing flutes in. If they want to blow their counter spells on It That Heralds the End, I'm kind of okay with that. Or if they want to blow their removal spells, I'm okay with that too. Alright, Hedge Maze is interesting. Again, some Surveillon. They like whatever it is and kept it on top. Okay. Ponder, okay. So I'm just debating if I want to push the advantage here, because they're clearly keeping a slower hand. I think I do. Like, I think what I want to do is go ahead and Fleshraker next turn, and then the following turn I can Disruptor Flute. And if I hit a Soul Land, I can double Disruptor Flute. Or if I hit a Lotus Petal, I can go ahead and play Fleshraker and Disruptor Flute in the same turn. Or not. Okay. Okay, they're either waiting for my turn, or they've decided that they need the mana more than they need to take me off of an Eldrazi Temple. Okay. Interesting. They decide that they need the mana more. Okay. This also incentivizes them to go after the Cavern of Souls instead of going after the Eldrazi Temple now, because this shuts off all of their counter spells. Alright, let's get in there. This is also theoretically going to set me up for a way that I can actually double Disruptor Flute if they don't actually go after my lands. Alright, still just cantripping. That's fine, that's fine. Alright, opponents decided to keep whatever they found. Did not shuffle. The question is going to become is, are they willing to try to take me off this Eldrazi Temple or not? Because if they let us untap, we definitely get to double Disruptor Flute. And if we do, we might just name Wasteland with the first one. Okay, cool. They're going after the one that I don't actually care about and I have a replacement for. Cool. I am A-okay with that. And it sets them back a land. Ooh, another Glaring Fleshraker? Ooh. I think... yeah, we just do it. They don't have the mana to be able to go off next turn. Unless they're randomly on some kind of breakfast version of this deck as well. But I haven't seen anything showing that they would be. And they are going to have to figure out how to deal with this board very quickly here. Also, I've never seen a breakfast list with Wasteland and Once Upon a Time, so I think they're more of a fair Nadu strategy. I mean, okay, they played a green land, so they cannot combo off this turn. Is this Nadu? Nadu, okay. We are going to go ahead and do some dumb shit here. Yeah. Hopefully we draw something good to follow this up. Because that Nadu is going to kind of clog the ground up a bit. Okay, or another It That Heralds the End. I'm A-okay with that as well. Well, let's start out with that. Make some dudes. Like, it sucks that I have to make this counterable, but I need to do it for the sake of being mana efficient. It looks like it might be resolving. Oh my god, I am so in love with Glaring Fleshraker. It is such a stupid fucking card. And this actually should just kill them. Like, just from the Fleshraker triggers, this is gonna burn them out. So we just, like, deterministically have lethal here. Like, this, oh my god, Fleshraker is just so fucking good. I cannot believe how good this card is. Like, it just completely soloed the opponent's deck. I didn't even have to attack. Just casting spells and they die because I have Fleshrakers on the battlefield. That card is so fucking stupid, and I absolutely love it. Alright, I like it. Alright, let me start this off by saying I cannot understate how good Glaring Fleshraker is. I am absolutely in love with this card. That last match, you just saw the ridiculous shit it can do. And in a deck like this, that's also super low to the ground with their Eldrazi, it lets you play multiple Eldrazi in a single turn. or be able to set up for bigger turns later on down the line. But just, I gotta start off by saying I am absolutely in love with this card. It is, in my opinion, probably the best card in Modern Horizons 3 that isn't just absolutely insano broken from a mechanic standpoint. I'm talking to you, Nadu. But yeah, overall, like the deck felt great. A lot of decks right now are not set up to deal with aggro decks because they're not really a thing in the format. And it's cool seeing Eldrazi be back on the map. Those of you who have been around the format for a long time, like I have, Eldrazi Stompy used to be a thing years ago, but ever since the power creep of Modern Horizons 1 going forward, they kind of just got outclassed by a lot of what was going on, where like Thought Knot Seer and Reality Smasher were the best Eldrazi aggro creatures, and I played a little bit more like a control stompy deck where you're relying more on chalices and trinispheres and stuff like that. But with all of these new super efficient low mana Eldrazi that just have great effects tacked onto them that got printed in Modern Horizons 3, it's able to bring these Eldrazi stompy aggro decks back into the meta and attack on an angle that a lot of decks just aren't really prepared to deal with. As you saw, we kind of just steamrolled those tempo control decks because they're just not used to dealing with creatures like this that are hitting the battlefield as quickly as they are, have as big of a body as they have. A lot of them are higher on mana cost than a Fatal Push can take care of. So we're cheating them out with the soul lands. So we're playing them as if they're the really small creatures that Fatal Push would normally be able to take care of. But because their actual mana value is higher than that, they don't die to it. And a lot of them have enough toughness to be able to survive stuff like Lightning Bolt as well. So I really do think that Modern Horizons 3 is exactly what these Eldrazi stompy aggro decks needed to be able to come back into the format. Everything in this deck felt absolutely great, other than Endless One. I understand why it's in the deck. It's a cheap Eldrazi that you can shit out early. You technically can play it for X equals 2 for 0 mana on turn 1 with a Ayavugan on the battlefield. And it plays really, really well with stuff like It That Heralds the End and Glaring Fleshraker. But as you saw, I cut it a ton. I will say, being just like a aggro deck, with the only real main deck interaction you have being Chalice of the Void, it feels really bad against super fast combo decks or creature-based combo decks, especially being on the draw, because your only real hate to start out with is going to be Chalice, and you gotta hope that it's good against what their deck is and that you name it on the right one. Other than that, a lot of the combo decks are able to just combo kill you before your creatures can kill them. Yes, your creatures are big for their mana values, but you still gotta actually get in and attack with them, which a lot of the combo decks are able to just kill you before that even happens. So feels great up against the tempo and control style decks. That Eldrazi mirror literally felt like it came down to whoever won the die roll. I lost game 1 because I took a bet on Chalice being good, and it clearly wasn't. But the 2 subsequent games, it just felt like whoever won the die roll and got to go first just steamrolled the other one, because these decks get off to such blazingly fast starts that it's hard to be able to catch up once someone takes off. So, but overall, the deck felt great. I'm in love with the Spaghetti Monsters. I've always had a soft spot for them. I've kind of begrudgingly, like, hated playing against them in the past, just because a lot of the times back in the day it was like kind of unfun play patterns. But these newer ones are interesting enough and have so much flexibility and just are fun to play without just being overpowered. And yeah, like, I love playing with them now. Like, I've always liked the tribe as just a concept. Like, this is about the time frame Battle of Zendikar, Shadows over Innistrad was when I really started playing Magic. So like, the Eldrazi were always just this cool thing to me when I first started playing, and I always had a soft spot for them. But I love where they have gone with these creatures. I love that a deck like this is viable in Legacy, and it was just an absolute blast to just smash face, do pseudo combo stuff with Glaring Fleshraker, be able to steal things with Eldrazi Obligator, just smash face for a ton with Eldrazi Linebreaker. Like, it was just an absolute blast playing this deck. So I hope you all enjoyed the video and had as much fun as I did. I will catch you all in the next one, and as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon, become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.